Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Rslash Tales from Your Server. In today's episode, mother shows up early to set up daughter's birthday dinner with flowers, balloons, candles, etc., then starts dumping confetti all over the table. Grandma Karen doesn't understand what a closed section means, threatens me with corporate, doesn't realize we have a prior history. People don't know what we're full means. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Mother shows up early to set up daughter's birthday dinner with flowers, balloons, candles, etc., then starts dumping confetti all over the table. I stopped her halfway. No, the confetti's going too far. That's just creating a huge mess. She looks like she was prepared for it, that's why I set down placemats. Oh, those little squares that all the confetti is sprinkled around? Like, maybe if she had set down a giant tablecloth for easy wrapping, I wouldn't have made a stink, but this was going too far. I set it straight right off the bat. Look, any items beyond what we serve in the restaurant here is your responsibility to clean up. She looked annoyed, but accepted. And guess who immediately stopped putting any more effort into making the table more festive? I peered into the box of contents she had, and there were 2 vials of glitter. May God have mercy on her soul if she was even considering it. One time someone used glitter to decorate at a restaurant I worked at, and a year later there was still glitter stuck in the natural wood floors. Nightmare. This happened to me. We had a big party, and although they tipped really well, there was glitter everywhere. I spent over an hour that night trying to get the glitter out of the floors, and it was literally there until the restaurant closed its doors. I had a bachelorette party come into one of my old restaurants to pregame before heading out. Someone brought confetti in the shape of little hot pink metallic penises. We were finding D***CKs everywhere for weeks. If they're not there already, there's a special place in hell for the person who invented glitter. I have a hard time getting it off the craft table when my kids make sparkly slime. Probably a special place in hell for the one who made slime popular as well. Henry Rushman. The only good thing that I can think of glitter is a friend of mine noticed her boyfriend was spending a lot of evenings out and found ATM receipts from a strip club. Knew he was cheating on her when she found body glitter in his boxer briefs. Better the herpes of crafting than real herpes, I guess. I don't think people understand the confetti just flat out ends up everywhere. A party did the same to me yesterday, and I found a piece of confetti frozen inside of an ice cube in the ice machine on the other side of the building. Like WTF. I believe it. I used to do office cleaning and majority of our jobs were banks. They would always put up a holiday tree, and that's all fine and dandy. Tiny bit of tinsel or glitter would get on the floor, no big deal. But there was somebody that worked at this particular bank that would have confetti all over the floor like once a week or whenever anybody had a birthday, insignificant holiday, employee last day, whatever the hell. Even with commercial vacuum cleaners, that sh*t is impossible to get up. You get paid by the job, not by the hour, so having to take your vacuum cleaner apart and pick things off the floor with your fingers was super annoying. May she wake up tomorrow with that glitter in her sheets and crevices. And may her pillow be warm every time she tries to flip it to the cold side. My old bar had a private room that people could reserve for parties. The deposit was like $200, and it was applied to your tab at the end of the night. Unless you brought in glitter/confetti, then the deposit went straight to the server. We were very clear on our no glitter/confetti policy, and people would get so mad. Yeah, because they want to do it so badly, but not at their own house. God forbid. Where I work, it is explicitly outlined in the private party contract they signed that there is 0 confetti or glitter allowed for decoration. At first people were cranky, but it's been a few years now, so there's not much pushback. The only time glitter should be used is in glitter bomb packages to nail porch pirates. That guy just put out a new video a few days ago. LOL, the pirates are catching on. A couple of them suspected it was a glitter bomb and opened it outside. I was once illegally evicted, so I put an open vial of red glitter in my landlord's 3-year-old daughter's cubby near the floor. The reason I was evicted? The dude was a hyper-clean freak, and I wouldn't keep my space sterile enough for him. A neighbor's daughter used spray glitter in my daughter's room one Halloween. 4 years later, that sh*t was still on the walls when we moved. As for the neighbor's daughter, never allowed in my house again after that. She lied to my face saying my daughter, who was in her black goth phase, gave her permission to spray it in her room. Bitch, don't lie to me. I was the best man at a buddy's wedding in the 90s, we were young and stupid, very stupid. Did I happen to mention how stupid we were? Very stupid. He and his bride left the morning after the wedding for their honeymoon, and we went to work in their apartment. We filled every drawer and every cabinet with puffed wheat, then filled every room with balloons, stuffed in floor to ceiling. That probably would have been bad enough, but we had pre-filled the balloons with glitter before we inflated them. We knew they were getting home after midnight 2 weeks later, and they had to pop many balloons, like 1,000s, just to get to their bedroom. They stopped popping them indoors after about 200 when they realized the mess each one made, and eventually spent several nights in a hotel before they got to the point where they could move back in. The second layer of puffed wheat was not welcome once the balloons were gone. We expected the glitter to make a mess, but seriously underestimated to what degree it would make a mess. 4 years later, when they moved into their first house, the amount of glitter left behind cost them their damage deposit. Very nearly cost our friendship too. May she be plagued with the fleas from 1,000 camels and arms too short to scratch. Classic curse, but you left out the best part. The full curse is may your crotch be infested with the fleas from 1,000 camels, and may your arms be too short to scratch. Priceless. I like this one. Grandma Karen doesn't understand what a closed section means, threatens me with corporate, doesn't realize we have a prior history. I used to be a manager at a Chichilides far back in the year of our Lord, 2014. I was in charge of FOH, and I hated it. Stories like this are why. Slow weekday evening, and we've got a skeleton crew on hand. We were managing just fine, but given the size of our restaurant along with the low numbers, we had the far back corner section completely closed down. And by that I mean, lights off, chairs up on the tables, shut down. The situation would have been obvious to any normal person. In walks Grandma Karen, who I will hereon refer to as GK. I knew this woman from a previous restaurant I worked at. She came in a few times a week with her bridge group, the majority of which were sinfully obnoxious. They were the type to always order the bare minimum from our lunch menu, only drink water, yet demand multiple lemons, sugar, etc., and leave candy wrappers everywhere. They demanded constant attention from our servers, and were lucky to leave whatever change they got back from paying cash for tip. Example, $9.78 bill, they're leaving that 22 cents if they feel generous. And guess what? Her bridge group wanted to play a night game. Why, at Chichilides, of all places? At least my last restaurant was in a hotel, so they could have some degree of privacy. I just happened to be watching the host stand when she came in. She tells me she wants to sit in the back, away from everyone else, so they can be as far away from other customers as possible. Lo and behold, she points right at the closed section. Now, as the FOH manager, I could easily have accommodated them back there. But I knew exactly what kind of customers they were going to be, and I wasn't willing to put any of my servers through that **T. So I told her, no, that section is closed and I don't have a server back there, but I can put her in the far corner of an open section. GK, I don't want to be in that section. I want that corner back there. Me, ma'am, I don't have a server back there, and the section is completely closed down. Do you see the chairs back there? We don't even have condiments on the tables, we're doing some deep cleaning with those. GK, the customer is always right, and I'm the customer, so we're going to sit back there. Me, ma'am, are you willing to pull those chairs down yourself? because we can't spare the staff to do it right now. At this point, she could tell I wasn't going to budge. And my host had came up to the stand, so she mumbles something about just putting her wherever. My server gets a place set for them, and that seems to be the end of it. The rest of the group comes in, eats, plays cards, does their thing. I recognize quite a few of them. Several even stopped and said hi, not realizing I wasn't at my previous restaurant anymore. After they finish and the rest of the group leaves, GK is getting her things together and points her bony-ass finger at me to call me over. GK, I just want you to know that you were extremely rude. The customer is always right, and you needed to let us have that section. I started trying to explain, again, that I didn't have the staff to man the entire restaurant, but she wasn't having it. GK, I will be calling corporate on you. I already have their number. I am going to tell them you wouldn't accommodate a group of senior citizens, and we will be taking our business elsewhere. We would have been in here multiple times a week for our meetings, so you just lost yourself a lot of business, buddy. I specifically remember thinking it was weird AF for a woman well into her 80s to be calling a 20-something man buddy. Here's where it gets good. Remember me telling you that I was familiar with her group from my previous restaurant? Ma'am, I'm sorry you feel that way. But if you want to continue to hold your bridge games at, insert old restaurant's name here, they have an excellent dinner menu, and they are open from 4:39. They would even be able to put you at your usual table. You could see the mental process displaying on her face, confusion, to realization, to fury, to pure resignation. Once it occurred to her that I not only knew her and her group, but what kind of customers they really were, she literally said nothing else. She walked straight out of the restaurant and out of my life. I never saw her in there again. Last I heard, the bridge group ended up leaving my old restaurant too. They got upset when the dining room manager finally told them they weren't allowed to bring in outside candy anymore, because they'd managed to wreck 2 vacuum cleaners due to wrappers getting *ked up into the filters. Certain people don't change. Guaranteed at the next restaurant she goes to it will be the same thing all over again. If she's still around, for real. She was pretty old at the time of this story, and that's been 7 years ago, straight face. She will be nice initially, then her usual will return. I just had flashbacks of these old ladies who worked retail at a southern store called Steinmart and used to come into the restaurant I worked at during lunch. All ordered teas in different ways, wanted to order off the lunch menu past lunchtime, and then left a .25 tip each. I literally just ignored them when they came in after years, as by focusing attention on them meant I made less money by diverting attention to tables who would actually tip. Hey, why are you not serving us? I don't work for free. And keep walking. The customer is always right is just fancy words for I'm an **** hole. Ma'am, we are running this restaurant to meet the demands of the general public. You, on the other hand, are an unprofitable outlier. Fun note, the full quote is about marketing. The customer is always right in matters of taste. It's talking about preference, and the customer as an aggregate group of people. I.e., the customer prefers your pie shop sell chocolate pies, you'd best start making more chocolate pies, because those cherry ones aren't going to sell. Only drinking water? Demanding lemons and sugar? Sounds like the restaurant needed to add limonada basura blanca to the specialty drinks menu with a price that included the *** whole tax. Limonada basura blanca. Oh, sounds exotic. I'll take 2. I love how you threw in the part about wrecking the 2 vacuum cleaners. Hilarious, and I don't know why. To be fair, they were total pieces of **t to begin with. I'm not your buddy, gal. I'm not your gal friend. I wish more managers understood that customers like this are costing them money and shut them down sooner than they do, if they actually do shut them down. People don't know what we're full means. Okay, so this is my first time ever making a post on Reddit, so I don't even know if I'm doing this right. But I have two very recent instances of people being dumbfounded that we can't accommodate their large parties. Keep in mind, we're totally slammed due to it being the holiday season, and the location of the chain I work at is the busiest in the city regardless of the holidays. First story. Customer, can I get a table for 5? Us, do you have a reservation? C, no. I tried to make one on OpenTable, but it said we couldn't get in until 8 p.m. You, well, unfortunately we're pretty full until around that time. C, annoyed, but don't you guys take walk-ins? You, we try our best, but we have a lot of larger reservations tonight that require our larger tables. C, can I make reservation right now? You, sure, but we still can't fit you in until 8 p.m. C, scoffs and storms out. Second story. Customer, can I make a reservation for 15 people tomorrow at 7 p.m.? Me, unfortunately for a party that size, we won't be able to fit you in until around 9 o'clock or later. C, 9 o'clock? But that's too late. Me, sorry about that. C, well, don't blow me off. Why can't we come in at 7? Me, we're completely full at 7, and we won't be able to accommodate a party that size. She's extremely pissed at this point, and I can't remember exactly what she said after, but it was along the lines of what makes you so special that you won't accommodate us. I just said very sternly and straightforwardly, we are completely full at that time and cannot accommodate a party of 15 until 9. She then started going off about how it was for a birthday, and they had been looking forward to this. Ma'am, if it was that important, why didn't you book it a month ago? She hung up on me. I can't get over the well, don't blow me off. I bit my tongue so hard. Ma'am, actually I'm not blowing you off, I'm telling you what's what, and I'm offering an alternative. It's not my fault you didn't plan this better. I'd be so tempted to tell them we could fit them in at 7, then call them back, and let them know that unfortunately another customer has booked their spot, and we couldn't just blow the new reservation off. Last come first served. I wouldn't be surprised if the party of 15 came to the restaurant anyway, and expected another party, or parties, to be bumped to accommodate them because they were physically present. Anyone who deals W people directly need an amnesty allowance. X times you can tell them exactly why they are asshats. Politely, of course. Amnesty allowance. So 5 times a day sound about right, or should that just be for waitresses? I'm sure baristas would need 20 to 30 a day. I've posted about people booking large parties on OpenTable under a 2-top. We had another one of those a few weeks ago on a Saturday night, where they booked the day of under a party of 5 with a note that they would have more people, and would need a larger table. They called it around 3 to give us their party total of 24. It took 3 different people telling them we could sit the reservation of 5 at the time listed. I think it was 7 to 8 p.m., but the rest of the party would have to be put on the wait list, split into smaller parties, and be scattered across the restaurant. But it's for a birthday. You really can't accommodate us? How many reservations do you even have? I don't care if it's your birthday, a graduation, your 50th anniversary. You cannot lie about your reservation size in order to get around our policy only to be upset that we can't accommodate you. Also, your kids count as people. They have butts. Butts need seats. Unless you're planning on stacking them on top of each other? Reminds me of a couple years ago, for Mother's Day I wanted dinner at a very popular local restaurant. A month in advance I made reservations. It was so sweet to walk into the full lobby of complaining cranky moms who didn't have reservations, whining that they'd been there an hour or more. Meanwhile, we waltzed in with 5 minutes to spare, checked in, and were immediately sat. The filthy looks I got when I said, "Yes, I have a reservation that I made weeks ago," smiley face. Someone's mother or friend effed up in planning the birthday party, lol. What makes you so special that you won't accommodate us? What makes you so special that we are expected to accommodate you? If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.